Life is weird sometimes. Life can somehow feel like it's going by far too slow, but at the same time feels like that if you blink, you're gonna miss it because it's going by way too fast. We long for those good times to never end, and for those bad times to quickly exit. We also tend to long for what's next in life. No matter who you are, young or old, rich or poor, we want what is next. It's the junior high student that can't wait for high school. It's the high school student that daydreams about what college will be like. It's the college student who wants to settle down, get married, and start a family. As we get older, it's the next promotion, the next opportunity, the next big thing. This longing for the next big thing can be a motivating factor in our life, but if not properly managed, it can lead to impatience in our life. The lack of patience infects every part of our being. Maybe you see it on the road when someone is doing 35 in a 50. Maybe you see it at the grocery store when someone insists on paying with a check like it's 1982 and every single pen stroke takes 3.5 minutes. Maybe it's a struggle of us not being where we want in life. Why can't I be older? Why can't I have this job? Why can't I have this family? Why didn't I make this team? Why didn't I get these grades? Why didn't that girl say yes? When we demand everything at our fingertips, it will consistently lead to massive problems in our lives. Just like when we rush through an assignment and we make mistakes, when we try to speed up the process of life, we are bound for mistakes, regret, and pain. As we grow up, we tend to expedite this process. We want more responsibility, less rules, and a later curfew. We want that separation between us and our parents, and that is good and healthy. But as we separate from our parents and we become our own independent people, it can often lead to more insecurity in our lives. What will others think of me as I grow into the person that I want to become? What will the opposite sex think of me? The forming of a new identity can leave us sensitive to the perception of others. The question isn't just, who am I becoming? It's who will be with me as I go along this journey. But on this journey to self-discovery, we accelerate to mile markers that we are not prepared for. The most common is a physical and sexual relationship with a boyfriend or girlfriend. When we do this, we accelerate the relationship to a point that we are not truly ready for. In the Old Testament, there's this book called Song of Solomon. It's a love story between a husband and a wife. It has beautiful poetry, meaningful ideas, and some interesting analogies and metaphors. At first glance, this book seems out of place in the Bible, but I think it has something important to teach us. I think it has something to say to us right here and right now. It is about the desires of their hearts being only for one another. It starts off with the bride and groom getting prepared for their wedding and for the rest of their lives. It transitions into them professing their love for one another and them being united by their unconditional love. They are excited for this new journey that marriage offers them. In chapter 2, it says, "Arise, my darling, my beautiful one, come with me. See, the winter is past, the rains are over and gone. Something new and exciting is waiting for them, and it is their marriage." Chapter 7, verse 10, the wife says, "I am my beloved's, and his desire is for me. Their desire is exclusively for one another. They have made this commitment to each other. The book ends with them being united in love and united by their desire for each other. You read through this book and you're met with this phrase that is said 3 separate times. Now, this book is fairly short, so something said 3 times is actually pretty significant. It says, "Do not arouse or awaken love until it so desires." Chapters 2, 3, and 8 all have this identical phrase. Do not arouse or awaken love until it so desires. This is a warning that is said 3 separate times just in 8 short chapters, but it's something we're not very good at. We are impatient people. We want everything right now. But the Bible is offering us a warning in the midst of our urgency. It is telling us to be careful, to slow down, to not expedite the process of love. And when the Bible says love, it means real love. We talked about last week, artificial or synthetic love will always leave us wanting. You see, real love is about commitment. Real love is about sacrificing for one another. Real love is understanding where love originated from in the first place. In 1 John, it says that we love because Christ first loved us. When we rush a relationship, when we rush commitment, when we rush physical intimacy, it takes the relationship to a level that neither party are ever prepared for. We are not ready for how transformational love is. We are not ready for how risky love is. But that desire for love is seated deep within us. It is not something we can ignore. But to put it bluntly, love does not equal sex. They are not one and the same. We view sex as the ultimate goal. We view sex as something to be achieved. It is viewed as the end goal. We think maybe if we have sex, love will find its way into our relationship. Maybe if we have sex, I will finally be happy. Maybe if we have sex, the other person will finally be happy. Sex should be the product of commitment, not what drives us to commitment. In the book of Song of Solomon, their desire and commitment to one another leads to the wedding. Then the wedding leads to a physical relationship. We have it so backwards sometimes. We don't want to wait for marriage. We don't want to wait until later in life. We want what we want, and we want it right now. God is begging us to not go outside of His plan for our lives. God has committed Himself to us. God has sacrificed for us, and God has given us true love. The God of the universe left heaven so that He could come down to earth to interact with mankind and ultimately sacrifice Himself so that you and me can be put into right standing with God. He is committed to us. In the book of Romans, it says that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Never diminish your worth. Never sell yourself short. You are valued. You are important. You are loved. Our desire is to search for that love outside of marriage, and that isn't how He designed any of this. God knows that when sex happens outside of real, true commitment, it will only lead to pain and regret. Commitment that is sacrificial, commitment that is unconditional, commitment that is for the rest of your life. Do not arouse or awaken love until it so desires. Yes, love is transformational. Yes, love is risky. But maybe, most importantly of all, love, true love, is worth the wait. You ready? All right, let's play.